Good question. Can someone tie someone's progress spiritually? Nope. Physically, yes. Physically, people's progress can be tied. Like if you have a wicked boss in the office, he could make sure that you don't get any positive appraisal, and then you will not be promoted. That happens. You know, somebody can write a wicked report about you and file it behind you, and then you are fired from office, and so on. A lot of things can happen. Somebody can steal your savings to hinder your progress. Somebody can steal your visa. There are people that are prepared to travel abroad. On the night they are going to leave, they can't find their international passport, they can't find their visa because their brother stole it. It happens. That's witchcraft. But it's physical. But when you're talking about spiritually, nope, it doesn't work. Don't you ever worry that somebody had anything spiritual about you. It's not going to work. It doesn't work. Now, do people actually attempt it? Yes. Sometimes you go to your shop, you will see somebody, they will drop something, some juju in front of your office. Just sweep it out, If you want to bury it, you bury it. If you want to throw it away, you throw it away. If you want to burn it, you burn it. It doesn't have anything. You should just avoid physical contact because there might be chemicals there that if you touch it, they might be poisonous. You don't know the extent all these native doctors will go to prepare juju, And also there might be powder there that if you breathe the powder, it becomes poisonous, But apart from that, nothing spiritual can stop your progress. But trust me, people will try it. So many people are very religious. Nigeria is 98% religious, just like Kenya, like Ghana, most African countries. Now religious people full. So people believe in juju. If you bring 100 Nigerians, 98 believe that juju works. That's what it means. They did a study and found out. So people will always try something spiritual about you, But does it work? No, there's no evidence anywhere that any paranormal activity has ever worked, ever. In fact, if you go to YouTube now and Google and search for a man called James Randi, Randi, okay, he was a magician in the 1960s. Then he discovered that all the magics are tricks. He now put up like a $1 million offer reward for anybody that can do any kind of trick that is not magic. They call it paranormal activity, any spiritual thing. If you can exhibit any spiritual talent, $1 million. You know what is $1 million? 1 billion naira. Do you know that from that 1960 till he died in 2011, every single person that attempted to gain that $1 million failed? Because he always ends up exposing that they are scam. Go to YouTube and sit down and watch the videos of how he was catching so many different scammers. So spiritually, there's nothing like spiritually tying down. Many people have died because of this. Because in Africa, we believe that people can be witches and wizards and they can spiritually hold somebody. And then before you know it, they have gathered and they have beaten the person to death. They have lynched the person. Many people have died. Some people will be banished from the community. How can you defend yourself? Like now, if somebody accuses you of wizardry now, or witchcraft, can you even defend yourself? If the whole community is accusing you, there's no way you can defend yourself. Now imagine that innocent old woman. Do you know how many old women they have killed in many African communities because they were accused of witchcraft? The whole community will gather and burn her. Some people will even twist the story that they saw her flying. She now fell. Till today, no one single video of a witch flying, ever. So it's a very dangerous ideology to have because we don't taking blame for anything in Africa. If somebody's business is failing or they are not doing well in academics, they will blame everybody except themselves. They will blame the teacher, they will blame the school management, they will blame the government, they will blame no money, they will blame their parents. People will travel to the village and blame the villagers and look for some people will blame their neighbor, that their neighbor is a witch just because the woman looks old or the man looks old. Or because the woman is not a Christian. Some people believe in traditional worship. All of a sudden, they will now accuse them of witchcraft. It happens. But people will not look into their business to see why it's failing. Maybe the reason your business is failing is because the business itself is going out of fashion. There are some businesses that phase out. When it's phasing out is when you're supposed to move fast. Some businesses, it's your sales staff that is swindling your money. You make 100,000 naira sales. At the end of the day, your sales staff will steal 80. You are running on losses without knowing. It's because you're not diligent. You're not present. They are robbing you. Go and install CCTV camera in the office to see what is happening by your eyes. Sometimes you think your staff is working hard, but once you leave the office, they bring out their vegetables and start cutting it on the table of the office. Gisting. Once they spot you coming, everybody will pack and be serious. At the end, you are wasting money paying them salaries. You will now accuse somebody somewhere saying it's witchcraft. It's not witchcraft. But you need to know that some negative energy can be transferred. Imagine a man that likes to work when he has absolute peace of mind. When this man has peace of mind, he's a genius. And then he marries. And this woman is a devourer of peace. Whenever she sees idle time, quiet time, she will attack the man. Every time she's raising issues and always countering the man, attacking the man at home, this man will no longer have the peace to generate wealth, to think and create wealth at home. When he gets to the office, in the morning, he has already quarreled with his wife at home. Now he will transfer that aggression to the office. The way he will talk with his staff, his best staff will start leaving. Or he will make the mistake of bringing the woman into the business. Some men have made that fatal mistake. This woman has never run any business in her life. She has never even been employed. Just because you married her, you carry her and put in your business as the assistant managing director. She will start behaving anyhow to the staff, sending people that are older than her to go and buy food and everything. At the end, your best staff will leave. When they leave, the business will collapse. It's not witchcraft. Now you do it. Picture a woman that does well in her business, and she marries. She now carry a guy that is into sports betting and put him in charge of her business because just because they are married. The man will use your capital and do sports betting and lose it. And the funny thing is that he will get all the games. Only one will cut. Your capital is gone. Most times people accuse others of witchcraft. It's because they don't want to take blame. They don't want to look deep and see what is actually happening. Sometimes when you're doing bad, you need a mentor. You go and look for somebody that is doing well and serve the person. They will show you the way. There are many people that know how to succeed. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, there was a time when I was applying for a certain university. I applied 3 times. That is once per year, 3 times. And the whole 2 times I failed. It was the 3rd time that I decided that I've been applying this thing myself. When I buy this form, let me allow the business centers there to do it, because I was forming that I'm a good, I understand computers. So I will buy the form, I will go to the laptop and upload it myself and submit the form by myself. So on the 3rd year, when I now gave one of the business centers, I stood there to see what he was doing. Bro, it turned out that after submitting the first page and they tell you successful, there is a link at the bottom of the screen you have to click and submit a second form. I never saw that the whole 2 years I've been applying. I never saw that. But because this guy is into the profession, he has been submitting for many people, and that time I paid him, he was able to do it. In fact, when I was going home, I called my mom and said, I'm sure I will get the admission this time, because there's something I've been missing in the application submission. It's not everybody that is doing you witchcraft. People don't like to take blame. There's a lady that they open shop for. Every time she's on Instagram, she's looking what Tunde Not and Tonto Tike is doing with Tokemaki One. She's looking at all these Bonner Boy on Instagram. Customers will be passing. Her mates, her own shop around, will be taking the customer. Customer is coming, they will just grab the customer. She doesn't care. She's there with long nails. At the end of the year, the business has run losses and the shop is closed. She will say it's her friend that is doing witchcraft. There's nothing like witchcraft. In this life, if you do yourself, somebody else will collect your position. That's what it be. You know, most people that claim that there is witchcraft, they don't have any evidence. Some of us, this thing is brainwashed. As we are growing, they keep drumming it in your ears that people can be witches. You open TV that time. There was no social media that time. It's Nollywood. You open, they will keep telling you, making movies about how old people are witches. We now grow with that idea that old people are witches, that people can bewitch others spiritually. That is the problem. It's just mentality. If you think about it, there is no single evidence ever that anybody has been bewitched. Not to talk of when you fall into the hands of these pastors, they will now tell you that your husband is the reason you have not given birth. Can you imagine? There was a lady that they told that her father is the reason she has not given birth for 6 years. Her own father that anointed her wedding. She now went home with camera and started videoing her father and telling the world that her father is a wizard. Can you imagine that? The pastor that did that is enjoying himself in town.